Hey guys, it's Alexander Dahl again with Manifest Brutality. I've got a couple things I want to talk about this week. First of all, I did get a couple comments on the posting for the video that I did last week. One of them is about the Fermi paradox and how it interacts with the Drake equation. If you're unfamiliar, the Fermi paradox essentially states that if there's so much potential for life in the universe, where is it? Like, why hasn't it been seen? Versus the Drake equation is more geared towards proving that life does exist out there. And then the way that these two things kind of interact with the density of consciousness that exists in the universe itself, and the debate of whether or not, if there's so much, then why is there so little, and those two issues that go together. The second comment I got was something that I kind of foreseen and saw coming. This comment reads, "In a broken world that is lost in anger and hatred, I cannot understand how this name produces anything that helps the world know love." And so this is exactly why I touched base on the meaning of manifest brutality last week, and about how it's basically an inherent warning of the Drake equation. And the term manifest brutality is it's a warning, and that is the sentiment of love. You know, a package of rat poison doesn't say try to pray for the rats before you kill them. It's just a warning. So those are the couple of comments I got. One of them was actually engaging in the discussion, which was nice, and then the other one was, you know, it's obviously somebody that judged the book by its cover, didn't even bother looking into it, and that's fine, whatever. But what I actually want to talk about this week in regards to this ongoing kind of music interaction series is actually the idea of saturation in music, and how many bands are out there, and how many people are making music, and that sort of thing. And I'm going to kind of take a bit of a different stance on it. A lot of musicians and probably record companies, because they want all the money, feel that there's too many bands out there, and there's too much saturation in the market. There's too much to pick from. Your average music listener isn't going to listen to any of it, which unfortunately is probably true. However, I feel that saturation in the market is actually a good thing, because it allows for the person that's listening to the music, or wants to find music, or wants to find new music that resonates with them. It allows that person to kind of pick and choose the avenues and the explorations of music that they want to get into and they want to find, and it allows them to figure out what resonates with their being, more than just having music crammed onto the radio and then them being told that that's what they should listen to. And the reason that I feel that that's important is because a person that listens to, we'll say, you know, generalized average pop music that's out there right now, they're not just gonna suddenly start putting money into hardcore death music or whatever have you. Wherever the two genres that you want to compare fall on the spectrum of musicality in general, they're not going to share a listener base. Most commonly, a person that listens to one kind of music tends to stay in that vein. And so, that being the way that they listen to music and the way they look for it, they're never even going to look on this other side unless they really get curious or they go through something in their life. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but for the most part, once you get into the vein of music that you like, that's generally where you stick. And a couple years ago, I read a study that pretty much said exactly that. We tend to pick and choose the style of music and art that we're going to appreciate and love for the rest of our lives between the ages of 12 and 16. And I can pretty much say that that's true for me. I am in that same vein of producing and creating and appreciating music and art the same way that I did when I was that age. The evolution of it has simply been conceptual in the fact that I encompass more concept into it. And I see that true for many other people that I'm around as well, and the styles of music that they get into. A lot of people do branch out. Obviously, there's audiophiles out there that want to listen to everything, and that's again one of those philosophies that fills in the gaps, and we need those people just as much as everyone else. So going back to the original topic about saturation, when there are multiple subgenres of a specific genre, and you have one person that likes that specific genre, they can look at all of the subgenres that fill out that region and genre of music to pick and choose things that resonate more to them and make them feel more comfortable in what they want to listen to. Maybe one band that they like has a certain personality that they appreciate more than another one, and they just gravitate towards that. That's something that the oversaturation in the music market lends its way to. And this is something that's somewhat unique in the independent production and music realm, is the fact that we have the ability to create and do that and create these little subgenres of genres that might not necessarily have evolved the way that they have if it wasn't so essentially cheap to make music these days. So that's pretty much the concept that I believe that saturation is good for in the music industry. It allows the person that's actually looking to listen to music and wants to get more out of it to get more out of it, and to feel more appreciation for the art that they're looking for, to have something resonate with them. Obviously, we all have our guilty pleasures, listen to things that maybe wouldn't fit into our regular repertoire. That's perfectly fine, and that fits. So that's basically my stance on the recorded oversaturation of music. There is a different side of this for live saturation of playing in venues and them being overbooked. Unfortunately, in the city that I live in, there's a lot of turnover of venues, and the bands are always trying to fill them, and it's sometimes can be a bit of a battle. So in that vein, when it comes to actually like performance, the saturation becomes a little bit more than the ability to find your preference and pick and choose what you want to listen to. But even that being said, if a big national touring act comes and plays in the city, and everybody's going to that, and then some local band is playing on the same night, they're not really sharing the market there. Obviously, one of them has a capitalization on the market where the local band is just going to get what they get. Similarly, in that comparison, if they are completely different genres, then there's absolutely no market overlap, and the people that go see the local band never would have gone to see the national band anyway, so it doesn't matter. So there's a little bit more contest when saturation hits the market on a performance level like that, but the way that we're all producing music on an independent level and able to distribute it is actually really good for the music industry, and it's really good for the music consumer. So that's my stance on why saturation is actually really good for the music market. Now, a couple updates since the last post. I do have a couple progressions that are ready for collaboration. I'm going to kind of get those ready and put out there for people to listen to, review, and comment on. And then we'll take it from there. I do have some more concepts that I want to touch base on going forward in this series. But we'll take those 1 week at a time, and as we get there, it'll be okay. So thanks for listening this far. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. I'll try to keep these a bit shorter than I did the very first one. So like, subscribe, and comment, share your stories. I'm still looking for audition stories. You can honestly share whatever kind of music related story you want, because I think that'd be fun. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Have a good whatever.